Okay, so without further ado, this is the pivot comes with a wristband and also with an attachment. And there's actually two attachments. The first one I'm going to show you is just the standard diameter that's going to fit on most of the hoses. I think right now, and even the new ones that are coming out, they're all about the same diameter, regardless of the material. So with the Cordys wristband for ultrasonic, that's going to go on your dominant hand. And the Cordys pivot wristband, very similar to the one that you use for the ultrasonic scaler, but this is going on your non-dominant hand because you're going to be using it for your suction and retraction. Okay, so this goes on. Again, there's no wrong way of doing anything when it comes to Cordys. It's designed, you guys play around with it and see what works in your world and what feels good to you. Because what I've noticed doing trade shows is that if I have the wristband on the outside of my wrist and someone has a hard time operating or getting the cord in, if they switch it to the inside of their wrist, sometimes it clicks for them. So I really encourage everybody with this product line to play around with it and then post tips that you find so that we can all share the experience, because this is all made for you guys, for the clinician. So once you've attached the wristband, I'm going to use it on the inside of my wrist. It just, again, for me, feels more natural in there. And then you're going to take the attachment and you're going to attach the top part to the hose. If you notice, it's kind of like a Skinny Girl. That's what it reminds me of. Skinny Girl. There's open ends and then the slot in between. It's best if you take it doesn't matter what attachment it is. It's better if you take it and slide this onto the hose or the cord. So we're going to start from the outside and kind of just slide it in, and then it kind of just locks on. This one's very rigid and hard, so once you get it on, that's where it's going to stay. But you could just take it off and readjust it depending on the amount of slack that you want. Again, it's kind of like a flick of the wrist. It's kind of, so anyway. When you have that, instead of holding it like this, and you can see the amount of pressure, you could just, visually see that it's going to put an enormous amount of strain on your hand and your wrist. And because of that, people hold it like this, and they're really not able to use the tip to retract or anything other than just suctioning. And because of the power, my experience with it, if you get close to the lip, you know what's going to happen, right? So what you're going to do, there's a bottom part of the attachment, and that's going to go directly into this little hole, and it just snaps in. And that's it. That's how simple it is. It's called the pivot because of this particular hose, because it's so rigid and so hard to manage. This will turn and allow the cord, the hose, to release itself if it's in a funky position. Okay? And that will allow you to use the handpiece as just like a regular retractor. You have the ability to move with your dominant hand while you're in the mouth, and you have the ability to control this tip so that it's functional and you can pull the lip back without having it get sucked up. And literally, I could use this with actually one. Join a circus after this. But you can see it's a completely different experience with this hose. Okay, when you're done, you just simply take it out, and then the attachment stays on the hose for next time you want to come back in the mouth, whatever, click it in. Adjust it if you need to, take it out and leave it. Okay? Yay, heavy hose, no more. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one I'm going to show you is, this is a Purevac. This hose, and it's a dense Plycerona suction. This hose is corrugated. It's very lightweight. What I would recommend on this, and just is based on what people have told me when they're using this, is that the outer sheath of this is very delicate. So when they're putting the attachment on, you may want to barrier this with either like a X-ray sleeve or something, kind of pull it down, or barrier tape. if you want to protect it a little bit. Again, same situation. We have outside, we're going to kind of flick a wrist and kind of put it on. This one's much smaller. I don't know if you saw that. It's kind of like, it's hard for me to do it and show you. Kind of clips right in there. Okay, this one's a little bit smaller in diameter, so when you get it on, you can actually slide it and get the amount of slack that you desire, just like you do with the Cordys wristband with the ultrasonic cord. So that's kind of cool. And this one has like a retractable mirror suction tip. I'm sure everybody has seen this by now. Again, same type of situation. The tip just simply snaps right in. And again, this one, it's definitely lighter, but you can also see there's just tension there. It's going to be. And it's, you know, you might be able to do this, but you have a lot more pressure on your hand if you're dealing with the hose drag. So if you eliminate that by putting it in the pivot, again, I can literally operate this with my fingers, my fingertips. Does that see? You can see that? It's all backwards. And then again, you're using it in the way that it's designed, you know, for retraction. Okay. This one again has the ability to move with you and take that weight off. If there's anything that's kind of pulling on it or feels funky, you just adjust it manually. Okay. When you're done, you pull it out and that stays on. Right? I know, we love this. Yay. Okay, same situation. Now I want to show you, this is very, 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 very cool. It's called the Newbird. RDH invented this. And I know, right? I use this one. I really, really like it. This has, there's some schools that use this, that use the, I want to show you something else, that use the hose that it comes with and use the pivot, I'll call it number one, like the large diameter. I also have a pivot small diameter. These will be on back order though, because I don't have a whole lot of them. But this one's a little bit smaller, but it fits the Newbird hose like butter. I mean, it's just so perfect. It's ridiculous. So again, it looks identical. It's really, really the same thing. You're just going to kind of take it from the outside and find your amount of slack you want, take it from the outside and kind of just put it right in there, and it fits beautifully. Theirs is cool because they also have a retractable mirror, and this thing kind of just clips in, snaps in, stays. It's awesome. Again, you're going to take the bottom part, looks like a little flying saucer, and that just snaps right into the wristband, and you're good to go. Again, just such lightweight, it's ridiculous. And you can go ahead and use this to get indirect vision. You can use it to illuminate, and you can also use it for retraction, so we love that. Again, all of these just twist so that you can get the optimal amount of access in the mouth. You don't have any tugging at all. Like, I feel it's weightless, really is. And again, just a quick snap and you release it. So I know a lot of us really focus on time because we're always short on that, right? There's never a day where you're like, gee, I have so much time in between these patients. I don't know what to do with myself. So I get that. So everything that Cordys is all about efficiency and ease of use. And it's eco-friendly. You're not pitching the stuff every time you are done with a patient. So you can bag these and sterilize them. All the attachments and all the wristbands are autoclavable. And you can also disinfect them with intermediate level disinfectant. So infection control, obviously, with what's going on in the world, is of the utmost importance. So when we go back, we're going to be prepared with this. We're going to be prepared with this HVE. And we're going to be prepared with the pivot. Because the more we start to do with this, we have to keep our self-care in mind. That's our longevity. That's our job security. And we need to walk the walk. You know, we tell all of our patients about prevention We need to prevent our injuries, and CordEze is going to help you do that. So I've got the wristbands for the ultrasonic scalers, and I've got the attachments for the low speed for when you're polishing, especially with heavy stain. Like I totally switched gears. Like I'm all about polishing first. It depends on the demographic, but I want to get all of the plaque out of the way anymore before I start scaling, and I never did that before. That was kind of new for me. I know probably some of you already do that. But so if I'm holding my my low speed more, I'm going to want to control that as well. And so the high-low attachment is for the low speed, and then of course the pivot for the HVE. We're all going HVE, right? And then I want to show you one last thing on the Newbird. They also have a smaller attachment, and I don't know what she calls this. It's my bad. I don't know if she's on. You can look up Newbird, Nubir-BIRD or whatever. They have an attachment, if you don't buy their hose, that goes on the standard A-deck, whatever kind of, where you would normally put these funky things. This goes right in and snaps into the standard suction as well. So you don't have to retrofit everything in order to use their mirror. Again, this is very, very heavy, and if I were to use this mirror, I would still have to use this death grip. But if I use the pivot, I take all the weight off of that, and now again, I'm able to use it, you know, with the lighter touch and retract. And then you get indirect vision. Really backwards here. Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you too, because this comes separately. I don't know, you can check their website and they can look further into that. But thank you for joining me. I know we're going on 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment and I can answer those for you while we're on. You can also just go on CordEze.com, CordEze.com, and there is a form you can fill out if you have questions after this, or you can message me through Facebook. And you know, I would be happy to answer any questions about pricing, quantity, or product information. But today I wanted to, because everybody's home and it's a stay home 30-day thing, I wanted to give you 30% off of the pivot for the month of April, so that when you go back to your dental home and start treating your patients that you miss so desperately, you can be prepared with your high volume evacuation and your pivot. The code for that is BESAFE20, BESAFET20, BESAFE20, and you can just put that in the code in your shopping cart on CordEze.com. So again, I thank you all, and I'm looking forward to everybody getting back to normal, whatever that is. Keep looking on our Facebook page and our website, because I've got some other things coming down the pike that are really interesting and exciting, and I want everybody to be included on all that. And thank you for all the support. I mean, you're the success of Cordys, so thank you for that. And I don't see any questions, so I'll see you guys all next time.